Welcome to the next video in our spring cleaning series where we are cleaning out that Google Garage. Going to our list here, we're going to be looking at 5 things to delete and drive today. Deleting unneeded big files, old Meet recordings, old Google Classroom folders, things that are owned by you and untitled, and things that are owned by you and maybe you just made a copy of something back in the day and you never did anything with it. So let's get to it. Moving over to drive. First of all, big files. It's really easy on your main Google Drive home screen under My Drive. On the bottom of the menu on the left-hand side where it says storage and how much space you've used up inside of your storage, you just click on that. And its default is to give you the biggest files in your drive first, all the way down to the littlest. So if I'm looking at this and I'm trying to just be a responsible digital citizen and not keep all of this extra stuff that I don't need, I can look at these and see that, yeah, I don't need this fourth hour argumentative writing recording of my teaching from 4 years ago. Don't need those things anymore. But maybe there are some things I want to keep. So I can just kind of, hold the control button down as I pick multiple things, skip over maybe the things that I want to keep, and then when I get around to it, I can use the trash can to delete all the things that I have selected. So that's your big files. Take a look at that. Again, just click on storage. All right, now next on our list is going to be looking at our old Google Meet recordings that we may have from all these class sessions we might have recorded this year. So we're going to go to our Meet recordings folder under My Drive. I've got to scroll down because I have so many folders. Click on Meet recordings. And if you are looking at the newest ones first and you see this arrow, you can click on it. If there is no arrow there, sometimes it doesn't show up, but you still get this thing that you can click. Just click on that a couple different times until it shows up that you can sort to your oldest ones. So I don't need these videos. They're not taking up a whole lot of space, but they might be showing up in my search results. So let's just go ahead and get rid of this old stuff. If it was important, I probably named it. So I used my shift button as I clicked one and clicked below, and I'm just going to go then and hit the delete button or the trash can and move those guys to the trash. I would suggest that you take a nice close look at whatever it is that you might want to be getting rid of there. All right, that does it for our Meet recordings. Well, let's go to our Google Classroom folders. Same thing under My Drive. We're going to go down to Classroom. I've marked it as red, so it's easy for me to find. And this folder is automatically created, and then it contains all of your Google Classrooms that you have had back to the beginning. So you can see that I have some in here from 2016. I don't need Google Classroom submissions from my students from 2016. So these are all of the assignments inside of it. Maybe I want to go back and keep some of those, but I really don't. All I have to do then is find those old Google Classrooms, just like I did before. I can select a whole range of them because they're currently being sorted oldest to newest. And then I can just click delete. Or hit the trash can. And everything, all the student assignments that were in there that you no longer need are now going to be showing up inside of that. Okay, so we have covered big things in our Google Drive. We've covered old Google Meet recordings and old Google Classrooms. Let's move on to things that are owned by me and untitled. All those random things that I've started. We're going to click on this drop-down arrow right here, which is our search options. We're going to select under Owner, Owned by Me, and we're going to type under the item name, Untitled. So bring up all the things, again, owned by you and untitled. If you've been using Screencastify this year, you probably have a ton of these. So I would suggest then, you select the whole range. If you want to see a preview of any of these things you're deleting, by the way, I have a tendency to leave mine in list view. You can switch over here to the grid view, which actually shows you a little thumbnail image of whatever it is that you are looking at, which could be helpful for you in deciding what it is that you are actually deleting. So maybe you want to keep this one because just by looking at that image that that's what it's about. So we're going to actually click over here. We're going to hold the control button. Maybe I need to keep, these other ones. So everything that I'm selecting in blue, I'm going to go ahead and then send to the trash. These are just untitled things I started, never finished, things I might have started as a sample for something and never went back to. Clear it out so it doesn't show up in your search results. And lastly, this still applies to anything that you want to search for. A really common one is to make copies of things. So whether or not you delete them or you rename them so you know what they are, I'm going to change this from untitled to copy of, and that'll start bringing up these copies of things that are owned by me so I can decide, do I need to rename it? Do I need to delete it? And you probably have quite a few of these copy ofs inside of here as well. Same thing, you get to decide. Thumbnail view is best for these things so you can see kind of what it is that you are looking at. There you go. There are 5 easy things to delete and drive today. Your big files, your old Meet recordings, old Google Classroom folders, things owned by you and untitled, things owned by you and their copy of. Have a fantastic day with a clean Google Drive.